the matter of Hollis versus Parisi. Step forward, please.
Cameron Hollis is suing his ex-girlfriend, Heather Parisi, for loans to buy new furniture and the return of 2 cable boxes.
Mr. Hollis, this used to be your girlfriend. You claim she owes you some money for furniture that you purchased for her.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no question, Ms. Parisi, let's start out with this. Now, there's no question that Mr. Hollis paid for the furniture.
Correct.
When did he pay for the furniture for you?
Mid-January.
Now, at that time, Mr. Hollis had been out of your apartment for how long?
A month.
Well, he had been out of the house at your request because you had him taken out by the police.
Yes.
And you had a protective order?
Yes.
So in January, you paid the rent by yourself?
Correct.
When did you first speak to Mr. Hollis after you paid your rent alone in January?
Within a day or two.
Did you call him or did he call you?
He contacted me.
And what did you say to him?
I don't recall what the conversation was.
What did he say to you?
He was very upset about the relationship being over.
Mm-hmm. And
that he would go to counseling and some extensive counseling and also relationship counseling, trying to work the situation out.
And what did you say to him?
I just said basically trial and error. I have to see before I believe.
And?
I honestly haven't seen a change in anything.
Well, so when did you see him again?
Approximately a week before he purchased the furniture.
Now, you tell me, Mr. Hollis, what she said to you when you went into the furniture store.
Well, first of all, it was the day before we were together. I believe it was January 12th. We stayed together that night. The next day...
Where did you stay together?
At the home.
Go ahead.
So the next day, we were out messing around. We come by a furniture store. We'd seen a couch that was on sale for $999. She said, I like this couch. If you were to purchase that for me, I'll give you back the money I'm getting on the 16th from an ex-husband. So I thought about it. I mean, we were there probably 2 hours, and I thought and thought. You know, she came across a table with $490 or something. I have the receipt here, which was on sale also. And I finally, you know, because I do anything for the woman, I told her, sure, if I'm going to get paid back, I'll do this for you. So I did purchase the furniture.
Where did you stay that night?
I stayed with her because I helped her put the furniture together. February 6th comes around. She calls me and she said, would you like to go out and do something tonight? We had a plan for that night to do something, and that's when all heck broke loose. Well,
what happened to the 16th? You didn't get your money.
I talked to her many times. She came up with excuses, you know, but she purchased a car, she purchased bed sets, she purchased new dogs during this time. That's what kind of made me mad. Like, where's all this money coming from? But you can't. She's like, well, I haven't got the money from my ex-husband. That's all from my paychecks. I told you I'd pay you when I get my money from my ex-husband. But she purchased all this other stuff. That's what kind of was ticking me off. And I was like, you know what? I think I got to go to court about this.
Mm-hmm. What happened on the 6th of February?
We were supposed to go out that night. We planned, you know, all day. We talked. She kept up to 10 o'clock at night. She was saying, I'm getting in the shower, this and that. I go by the home. She wasn't there. I know the friends she hang out with, and I know where they hang out. So I went there, you know, to talk to her. Like, you know, why lie to me? Why not just...
Where did you go?
To a bar in Portland.
Go ahead.
So I walked inside the nightclub. I saw her there, which I knew she was going to be there. And I approached her. I said, you know, can we go outside and talk? No, I don't need nothing to say to you. I was like, you were just, you know, 10 minutes ago telling me that you're in the shower. So I said, I think we should go out and talk about this. No, you can leave. And I was like, okay, well, when I was going to leave, I was drinking a beer that I purchased right then, and I poured it on her head. And to my, you know, I'm thinking, she ruined my night, I'm going to ruin hers. So I walked out. I get down the bar. I get hit in the back of the head by Miss Parisi. Then I just walked out, kept walking. Have not spent any time with her since. No, I'm sorry. It was over, you know, probably a month later, then we decided to go to dinner again.
So you went to dinner again after that?
Yes, we have been together.
Was it pleasant?
Yeah.
Did you call her afterwards?
Have I called her? Yes, we talked.
Since then, when was the last time you talked other than today?
2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Go.
In December, Mr. Hollis verbally attacked me.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to know what happened in the furniture store.
We were walking around the mall. There was a furniture store in that mall, and I had been talking about getting new furniture. And so I said that there was a sectional in there that I liked, and I was going to buy it when I got money. We went to leave. My 5-year-old and I are standing by the escalator, and Cameron says, well, if you let me sleep at your house for 3 nights, I'll buy you the furniture. Fine, be my guest. I'm not going to say no to that. I'm not stupid. And so then...
I take book on that.
Well, yeah, I've made some bad choices, but then I let him sleep at the house. The next morning we got up immediately.
Where did you sleep in the house?
I'm in my bed.
So you got property in exchange for sex.
No.
What happened on February 6th?
On February 6th,
Because you have a counterclaim here for assault.
I had planned out to go with my girlfriends, and I made it clear to him I had plans to go out with my girlfriends. And I was in the shower, and Cameron kept texting me that I can go out and I won't go out with him, and back and forth like that, and I can make time
You'd
for my
already
friends.
gotten the furniture, right?
Yes, correct. And then I went to the club with my friends, a club that I do not go to. I've been to 2 times in my life. And I was just sitting there enjoying the company of my friends. And then one of my friends asked if I knew the guy who was looking at us that looked crazy. And I turned and I was like, my heart dropped, my stomach dropped. Immediate fear in me. He came to the table and asked me to go outside. I said, no, I'm not going outside with you. You're going to hurt me. I'm not going outside. He goes, I don't think you want your friends to hear what I have to say. I go, I don't want to hear what you have to say, but if you need to say something, say it. He goes, your friends are just going to drop you off here with some guys and just leave. I'm like, I turned to my friend. And
Ms. Parisi, don't you understand, madam, that men don't like to be made fools of? So when you say you're not stupid, and that's why you took the furniture, I think you are stupid for taking the furniture. Because if you weren't interested in Mr. Hollis, and you knew you weren't interested in him long term because you had already been involved with him long term, and you got rid of him. If you were interested in him, you would pass up going out partying with your girlfriends to spend an evening with a guy that you care about. Clearly, that wasn't the case. It was just good enough for him to lay out the money for this furniture for you. That makes you stupid. He's not entitled to pour beer over your head.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that, and you have to pay her for that. That's going to cost you $50. That's a very expensive beer because she has a counterclaim for a lot more than that. She'd like about $3,000. That's not going to happen in this lifetime. So on your counterclaim, Mr. Hollis is going to pay you $50 for his bad behavior in pouring a beer on you because he was embarrassed because you wouldn't speak to him. He, on the other hand, is going to get all the money for the furniture because I believe him, and I don't believe you. I think you're a user. $1,497. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused.